and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well, Peaches. So, as you know by now, I have lost fat, toned up, and have maintained my physique lifestyle for the last several years. However, something I haven't spoken about yet is the 5 foods that I have stopped eating that have allowed me to do this. Food and drink, by the way. So stick around and watch this video and like and subscribe whilst you are here, and we shall get into it. First off, I'm not about cutting out loads of foods or food groups from your diet. I don't believe in that. I have a maintainable, sustainable, balanced relationship with food, and that's exactly what I teach my clients as well, just for a little disclaimer before we get into it. So the number one food, first up, we have protein bars and protein powders. Now, I don't mean completely cutting these out. However, when I first started my fat loss journey, I was trying to hit 150 to 160 grams of protein, which was absolutely ludicrous. Protein is a really important nutrient to include in your diet if you are trying to lose fat and if you are trying to tone up. However, too much of something is probably not the best. So yeah, I was trying to hit 150 to 160 grams of protein. I would have a protein oat bowl, so I'd put a scoop of protein powder in my oats. That would be one of the first things. I would also have a protein bar every single day. I would have protein yogurts, and I would also put a scoop of protein powder in my yogurt at the end of the night as well. So that was like so many processed supplements of protein that was going into my diet, and I was so bloated that you definitely couldn't see any form of tone there because I was so bloated and my stomach and gut was so not in a good way. So that is number one. So now I only have 1 scoop of this protein powder in my protein oat bowl, and that is the only supplement of protein that I have. And this one that I do use actually does really, it sits well with my stomach. So if you are looking for a protein that does, this is unbelievable, just saying. When it comes to protein bars, I will have one maybe like once a month if I'm like on the go or I've got to grab one from the supermarket or from a petrol station. I will have probably 1 protein bar, but I do not have them every single day like I used to. I try and get my sources of protein in from natural foods. So I'm just gonna pop over here to my fridge. So I get in my protein sources from things like chicken, Greek style yogurt. What else? I've got some chicken here. I've got some eggs. So, got some tuna in the cupboards. So that is what I do when it comes to protein. So if you are looking to lose body fat and tone up, I would highly recommend not just filling your diet with loads of processed protein supplements, because that is not going to help your gut. So yeah, that is number 1. So next, number 2 is, this is what I would have for breakfast back in the day. I would have a black coffee, and then I would probably have like a granola bar, or maybe even just the black coffee itself. And this was not sustainable. So that was one of the first things that came out of my diet, and I actually started filling myself up with a breakfast that satisfied me throughout the day. So having just a black coffee for breakfast, or even just one of these granola bars, does not fill you up. So by the later on in the evening, you will then probably have big binges because you are skipping meals, you're not eating enough when it comes to breakfast, and then you are having a binge in the evening. So that was number 2. I now have something that is protein filled, it's got carbs, it's got healthy fats, it's got fruits and veggies that are making me feel fuller to last me throughout the whole day. So I'm not just having something like a little black coffee and a granola bar. Number 3, I stopped drinking loads of liquid calories. Now, I was the girl who loved a Starbucks frappe with caramel macchiato or whatever it was called, and it had all the cream and all the caramel sauce around the cup. I would also drink normal full-fat Coke, orange juices, smoothies, and unfortunately, these weren't filling again. They weren't filling me up. So I started actually using those calories that were in all of those drinks and putting them in food that was nutritious, that was making me feel full, making me feel energized, because that is what was sustainable for me to be able to lose weight and tone up at the same time. Best believe I do have an oat flat white as my go-to coffee now, but I don't fill it up with loads of syrups or loads of creams or loads of milk. I just have that oat flat white, and that's what satisfies me. When it comes to drinks, if I'm really craving like a fizzy drink, I will have maybe like a 0 sugar 7-Up. And I know there's going to be some people out there that are like, artificial sweeteners, blah, blah, blah. I get that, but it's everything in moderation. Like having one of these when you feel like you crave it, like a sugar-free 7-Up, like every now and then, is not going to do you harm. So that is what works for me. I don't have them all the time, but dropping out loads of liquid calories is something that helped me and actually fill myself up with proper nutritious foods that was making me feel satisfied and energized, as opposed to just having a 600 calories Starbucks caramel macchiato that wasn't doing anything for me. So yeah, that is number 3. Number 4 is I stopped snacking. Well, to an extent. I still love a good little chocolate bar, a little snack here and there, but what I would used to do, and I see so many people do this, when it comes to snacking, they will skip meals, and I used to do this. I skipped breakfast or I skipped lunch to save calories for snacks in the evening. And then I would then just binge on so many snacks. Like I would have like full packets of cookies and biscuits because I was so hungry. And the reason why I was so hungry was because I was saving all of my calories till it got to having the snacks in the evening. And there was no help in that because I just was in this constant binge restrict cycle. So something I stopped doing was saving calories for loads of snacks in the evening, and actually started filling myself up with what I said earlier, with a filling breakfast, actually having a filling lunch that had protein in it, that had carbs in it, that had some bread and some substance to it, so that then it didn't get to the evening and I didn't need to binge on all of these snacks, because I was actually giving myself food and meals throughout the day. When we look at children, like you send them to school with a packed lunch, or you send them to school with school dinners. You don't send them to school and say, oh, just wait till the evening and then you can just have a load of snacks when you get home. Like, no, they have proper meals, exactly how we should have proper meals too. And that does not mean a cup of soup for lunch either, because a cup of soup for lunch is not lunch. So yeah, stopping loads of snacking in the evening, but actually filling yourself up with meals is going to help massively. So that is number 4. Now, this last one is actually not something I cut out, but something I added back into my life. And you're probably sitting there thinking, what is it? Well, most people or coaches and PTs, some make their clients, or some people, some diets make you cut out carbs, and they say that carbs are the devil, carbs are bad. But when I actually added carbs back into my diet, because I cut them out, and I would only eat like salads, I would only eat like eggs or egg whites with nothing, with no bread, no carbs, nothing. I even used to have like, you know, that spiralized like courgette as like an alternative to pasta. That's what I would do. But when I actually added carbs back into my diet, boy oh boy, did I transform my physique. I had so much more energy for my workouts. I had so much more energy for my day-to-day life, for steps, for walking, for fidgeting, doing all of that stuff. So I was actually able to see changes in my physique because I stopped skipping out food groups. So if you're sitting there, and obviously if you are gluten intolerant or if you've got celiac disease, then maybe don't add carbs back into your diet. But if you don't have an intolerance to them, having carbs in your diet is not a bad thing. And if you want to comment below and tell me it is, go for it. But carbs back in my diet helped me massively. Carbs are basically energy. So I have them before my workout and that gives me energy to have a good session. And I have it after a session as well because that helps my body too. So they are the 5 things. I know that wasn't one that I cut out, but it was basically one that I did cut out, but then added back in. So yeah, that is number 5. And that, my friends, is a wrap. But basically what I wanted to say is you shouldn't be cutting out everything from your diet. I see so many people go to start a diet and they'll say, I'm cutting out alcohol, I'm cutting out sugar, I'm cutting out carbs, I'm cutting out this, I'm cutting out that, and it doesn't make it sustainable. But these little things that I've done have actually enhanced my fat loss journey. So I'm not saying never have a Starbucks frappe latte again, but having it in moderation, and that's what I'm all about. I'll post some photos around the screen of the balanced lifestyle that I live. I still have alcohol every now and then. I don't have it every week, but if I have a wedding or if I have a celebration, then I may have a glass, and that is absolutely fine because at the end of the day, I'm all for health, but enjoying your life as well is super, super important. So this is your reminder to not cut out everything that you love, to lose weight and tone up at the same time, but just finding things in moderation. As I said with the protein at the beginning, it was too much. I was trying to eat too much protein, too much processed food, and it wasn't sitting well with my stomach. But when I cut that back down to once a day or having a protein bar once a month or once every 2 months, it's more in moderation. So I hope you found this video useful. I'm going to pop my free calorie calculator below if you want some help in finding some sustainable calories for yourself. Also, if you haven't already, go drop my Instagram a follow because I have got something super exciting that I'm going to be announcing in November. And I'm not going to say anymore. I gave my Instagram a little tease, so I'll give YouTube a tease. So I'm going to use the word balance. That's the only clue that I'm giving you. So yeah, drop me a follow, and if you are interested in coaching, I'll pop the details below as well. But yeah, for now, have the best day, and I will see you in the next one, which is going to be my Paris vlog. I'm doing a high rocks, but me and my friend were also going for like croissants and for dinner. So I will bring you along that vlog with me. And if you've come this far in the video, comment Paris and I'll see you in the next one.